go over the Zones tab. Starting off with the left section, we have through, off, and on. What this is dealing with is it'll let notes pass through whether karma is off or on, controlled by our main switch here. So if karma is off and through is all off, then if I hit a pad, we don't get anything. By the way, just to let you know, this is a C3, C major on octave 3, and this is a C major on octave 4. In fact, you can see when I press this over here in the display, it just had those C3 notes lit up. If I hit the next chord trigger 2, you can see it lights up the notes on C4. That's just telling you that the input notes are, this just shows what the input notes are. So anyway, with karma off, if there's nothing going through, then we don't hear anything. But if karma's off and I allow something to go through, if I check this box, it means that it will allow notes, input notes, to go through on module 1. So I'll go ahead and play that. Go ahead and play an octave higher. And remember that our modules are set up so they all receive input notes on the global channel, but then they send those input notes to whatever timbre I designate by the MIDI channel, and whatever you have the however you have the MIDI channel set up on your timbres in the Kronos. So the other thing is that module 1 is sending to MIDI channel 6, module 2 is sending to MIDI channel 7. So if I go ahead and check this box and then hit a pad, hear a piano timbre. So that's just what I have on that program. You check them both, hear both timbres. So if I go ahead and turn karma on, since we're not running any modules and we're not having any input notes pass through, then we again won't hear anything. But if I go, actually, you know what? Let me uncheck these just so that it's not confusing. But if I go ahead and run the modules, then I'll hear karma run as normal. But it's not playing this original input chord. That's for what these controls are for. So if I check a box, then we'll hear this input chord as well as what karma is generating. And notice that we only heard that for one timbre, the kind of distorted saws sound. If I go ahead and check this, we'll only hear the piano pass through, and the distorted saw sound will ARP. And then I can check them both, of course. We'll hear both timbres, the chord for both timbres, and the arpeggiation. So that's all of the notes inside of the zone. So what the zone means, by the way, is that the notes will trigger karma, that karma module. If I have it set to, actually let me go an octave higher. If I have it set to this octave, then that means the notes going into module 1 won't be triggered by anything below C4. So this pad is C3. So let's try it out. I have karma on, and yeah, so if I hit this, actually I don't want to run this module for now. Let me turn that off. If I hit pad 2, it's C4, so we will hear karma module 1, arpeggiate, timbre 6. But if I play the first pad, we don't hear anything. But if I have the through outside zone, then when I hit the first pad, we will hear the chord. But karma won't play. It'll play if I hit pad 2, and it will actually arpeggiate as well, but it won't play the chord because we're not passing through the chord in the inside zone. But if I do check that, then we'll hear the chord outside of the zone without an arpeggiation. And then inside the zone, we will hear the Karma module generate notes as well as hear the chord. Nice. So that explains all of these parameters. And that explains inside zone and outside zone, and how inside the zone triggers karma, outside the zone does not. The last thing to go over would be the transpose parameter. We can transpose the notes outside the zone. Let's try that one first. So let's transpose them up an octave. And then we won't hear anything unless we could hear those notes outside the zone. Let's just check. Yep. But if we allow the notes outside the zone to pass through, then we will hit this chord, but it'll be transposed up one octave. So it actually doesn't sound any different from this, if it's going through. Now those chords are at the same, they sound at the same octave. I think that's pretty much it, yeah. Of course, inside the zone we could have down an octave, kind of reverse them. Let's hear what that sounds like. Yep, so we've effectively made this one C4, and then this one C3, even though that's not how they're assigned. Just because of how we transpose them inside and outside the zone. Cool, that's everything. Yep, next one is the RT parameters, which is going to be a lot. So get ready.